What is up, everybody? Thank you for watching this video, and I'm here to teach you how to set up your very own Twitch channel from A to B with notifications and all that jazz, donation alerts, everything that you should do to get your stream up and going is going to be in this video. So without much talking, let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing you're going to do is go to twitch.com and you're going to make a profile. I actually went ahead and made a profile. It's called Twitch Simp. I was trying to go for Twitch Senpai, but it was taken. So with your profile made, next thing you're going to want to do is go to OBS, obsproject.com. You're going to go click download OBS Studio. I obviously have it downloaded, and then you're just going to follow the prompts to install it. After you have OBS installed, you're going to go ahead and open up. It's going to look something like this. There's a couple things going on here that I'll explain in a minute. After you get OBS installed, you're going to go to streamlabs.com. This is going to pop up, and you're going to go ahead and log in. When you log in, it's going to ask you can connect to your Twitch or YouTube. It works for both, whichever platform you choose, but we are using a Twitch as a demonstration today, so I'm going to click Connect to Twitch. Now, when you connect to Twitch, make sure you're logged into your Twitch channel as well. Once you're logged in, a bunch of stuff is going to pop up, and this gives you the charts of the day, or you can do it for week, month, year, so on. You can follow your donations, your subscribers, donation settings, all that fun stuff. It's a really cool website. You can click this little alert box right here, and you can edit all your things from your follower icon. This will do the volume. From subscriptions, that will do all that. Donations. Basically, this is all you guys, so I'm just gonna leave a blank for now, but you can go ahead and do it however you see fit. And then after you're done, just make sure you click the save settings icon right there. There we go. All done. After all that, the next thing we're going to do, they just came out with this, we're going to Streamlabs 2. You're going to download this right here. If you have Windows or Mac, either one will work. Once you download it and install it, follow the prompts when install it, you're going to get this little icon right here. So Streamlabs. Go ahead and double click that icon. It's going to pop right up. It's going to say Streamlabs, connect to Twitch. Make sure, again, you're logged into Twitch and click connect to Twitch. So we're going to Twitch, Simp, and then your password. Now it's going to ask you to choose an output directory. Now, I would strongly suggest to go to your desktop, right click, and make a folder. I already have one folder right here. It's called Stream Files. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And now you have your alerts and donations set up. So there's nothing here right now. But every time you get a donation or a subscriber, if you're partnered, or if you're partnered, you're probably not watching this, or if you get a follower, all of it will pop up right here. After that, you can go ahead and click File Settings, and this tells you all the stuff that outputs. These put out. So what this does is, so let's go to Donation Train. So if you click the stream files and you look for, let's see, Donation Train, 30 days, cheers, donation amount, like these are all the output files it does. I usually just stick with all top donator, and that's really all I put up there. I mean, you can use the follower count and look for followers, and you do like edit like this, total follower, just like that, and then your preview will be right here. This is what it looked like on stream. And you click save settings, cancel. That's how you do it, and there you go. So we have our Twitch, we have OBS, we have all your basic stuff ready to go. So now what do you do? Well, let's go ahead and set up Twitch right now, or set up OBS. So on OBS right here, you can see there's really nothing going on. I'm going to go ahead. The first thing you want to do is click your settings in the corner. This is the general. You can kind of look through it, but generally you won't have to change any of this. This is all default stuff, okay? Click stream. Now this is where you need to make sure. Okay, so for servers, obviously going to Twitch. For the server, you have to be careful. You want to pick whatever city is closest to you. For me, it is Chicago. There is an app out there that allows you to see the ping of each one. I'll have that in the description below to find your best one. Next thing you want is your stream key. Now, this is your personal stream key that you will find, and I'll show you how to get that right now. This is how you stream to your Twitch channel in the first place. So you're gonna go to here. You're going back to Twitch. You're gonna click this. Click this. It's gonna pop up all this, and you're gonna instantly go to dashboard. Now, what this dashboard does, it tells you a bunch of things. You can change your title. You can pick your language. You can play a game. You can do a game. You can go right here. It tells you your stream health. It tells you your announcements, channel feed, a bunch of different things. Your current viewers, current time up, how many clips in, how many current viewers, how many followers, your auto hosting. That's all done here. Now, what we're looking for is streaming key. The streaming key is right up here, one of these tabs, right here between the video stats and the streaming apps. You're going to click streaming key. Now, I'm not going to show you mine, but just go ahead. It's going to say some applications require a streaming key. You're going to click show streaming key. And when you click your show streaming key, you're going to go back to OBS, copy and paste it right there. You're all done. You will now be able to stream to Twitch. Next thing we're going to do after you get the how to stream to Twitch, we have to set up your output files. So we're going to click output. You're going to click streaming. At default, it should be X264. We're not going to go ahead and change that. You do want to go ahead. It's going to be set to simple in the beginning. So the streaming, recording. For most people, this is fine. Now, the bitrate, there's some, how do you put it? Debate over what is better and what is not. I personally like to use advanced in the output mode. So in bitrate, if you're not partnered, most new people decide to stick to 720p, which would be about 2500 bitrate. Now with this gives you the most active people towards everybody else. So this allows it to reach your most audience because you're not partnered, so people can't adjust your stream themselves. So if you're streaming at 1080p, then you're gonna have a really hard time reaching some of your audience because some people actually can't watch 1080p, especially if they're on their cell phone or anything like that. Some cell phone carriers don't really do anything, won't have the speed for that. So it's always safe and just do a 720p, which is about 2500 bitrate. Give or take. Now, your bitrate should never be more than about 10-15% of your total upload speed. So this will vary from person to person. I would require at least a 10 megabytes downloading upload speed, which roughly is about 2 or 3 megabits. Did I get those mixed up? 10 megabits upload speed with a 10 that gives you about 2 megabytes. I know it's confusing, but you need basically 10 in there. If you don't, you can still stream, but if you have anything below about 5 is when you probably are going to suffer some quality issues because you're going to have to drop it to about 17. Key frame interval is always 2. That's just how Twitch is. That's no control over that. That's just Twitch. CPU usage preset. Now this is greatly determined on your CPU. Now, if you have an i5, you're pretty much stuck at super fast or very fast, give or take, depending on what generation you have. You really don't see a huge quality difference between the two. But for most people are just going to stick to the default very fast. Now, if you have a new fancy i7, 5th gen or higher, you can probably go a little bit higher, but you see a diminishing return on quality after about the fast part. Anything higher than this isn't really meant for streaming and is more meant for local recording for better quality that way. So I really just stick to very fast. That's the default sweet spot between performance and quality. You really wouldn't see much difference between the rest of them, and just stay like that. Profiler, tuner, and these are all left blank. There should be nothing in here. You do not need to worry about those. So after you have all this set, we're going to go ahead and click audio. Twitch does not allow much of anything for audio, but I think it does support 320 bit rate. So just click the 320 bit rate and you're all set. Once you're all done, you're going to hit click apply, and that will apply all the settings. I'm not going to go ahead and do that because I have my own settings set up, so I don't want to mess with anything. But this generally should what it look like, give or take your CPU and internet. Next, we're going to do is go to audio. This is where you're going to click your desktop audio device, which should be your default, and your microphone if you either have a webcam or I'm using a Blue Yeti here. And the sample rate should be 48 and channel should be stereo. That's pretty much for audio. You really don't have to worry too much about that. Increasing audio quality is more on the device and less on the settings. Once you go ahead and go to video, now most people are going to have a base resolution of 1920 by 1080p. This is your base resolution. This is what OBS is going to bring in. The output resolution is what it's going to stream to Twitch and what your people are going to see. Now, 1920 by 1080 is 1080p, but I strongly did the but. Not all computers can handle a 1920 by 1080p. So if you really, if your computer, you seem to have lag issues, I would go ahead and downsize that to 1280 by 720. This is 720p and what you'll be streaming regardless. Now the difference between these two is I am outputting a 720 or 1080p signal, but with a 720p bitrate, which just basically means it gives me a slightly crispier image at the cost of a little pixelated. Now, if I were to drop this down to 720p, my image might see a little more blotty, a little more not necessarily pixely, but blurred. But you would get just about good resolution. You should always try to stick to your main monitor's base canvas. So if you have a 1330 by 1330 monitor, this should also be the same. Again, if you have some performance issues, I would just drop this down to 720p and be good. Your downscaling filter is, again, also, this is going to have to play with a little bit. The fastest one is the bilinear. It also gives you the worst quality, while Lonzo's gives you the best quality with the most power hit or performance hit. I use this one because I'm able to, but this actually doesn't apply to me because I don't use an outputting or downscale resolution. So if you're just doing the same, if these two are the same right here, this makes no difference. Next is the FPS you're going to be streaming at. Never change this anything but 30 FPS until you get past until you get partnered, basically, because at that point Twitch supports 60 FPS. But as right now, as my understanding, if you're not partnered, you can't use 60 FPS, so it doesn't make a difference. Also, 60 FPS is a huge performance kick in the butt. So most people just prefer just 30 FPS. The only benefit you'd ever see in 60 FPS is like games like CSGO or fast-paced, high-moving FPS games is when you would probably want to try to do at 60 FPS. Just note that YouTube does allow its users, regardless if you're partnered or not, to adjust their settings. But Twitch does have a larger following base, so that's another discussion. This is for Twitch though. Hotkeys, you can go ahead and choose a bunch of different hotkeys. Go ahead and read them, look at them. This is all personal. I have a couple scenes switched to my F keys, and that's pretty much it. You can do hide webcams. I would just go ahead and kind of go through this, and it tells you everything. You just bind a key, and you're good to go. In advance, this is generally not going to change. You're going to have your processor normal. Rendering is DirectX 11. Do not use OpenGL. DirectX 11 is much better performed for this. And OpenGL is more of a GPU-based intent, especially of NVIDIA. Unless you have like a 1080 or a 980 or a higher-end GPU, DirectX 3D is probably your best bet. So if you have say you have like a 1080 but only an i5, I would probably use OpenGL. But keep in mind the quality difference between are pretty big. OpenGL isn't as crispier and isn't as clean as DirectX 11. All this will stay standard. You don't touch with any of this. Yeah, that's basically all the settings for OBS. You are good to go. After you're all done, you're gonna click apply and click OK. I'm gonna click cancel so I can not save it because I'm gonna do things. So we got your Twitch setup, your OBS setup. We got your Streamlabs open up. Now let's actually make a scene so you can stream. So down here you're gonna go to scenes. I'm gonna start a new one. I'm gonna hit and click right click. I'm gonna click add. I'm gonna name it Twitch How To. Okay, so this is my new scene. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this real quick. So this is a preview right now. There's nothing on there. It's all blank. You're gonna go ahead and click source. Then click add. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and add. There's a bunch of different things. You can add audio. You can add audio app capture. We'll get to browser source in a minute. Display capture. Display is gonna go ahead and capture the same display you choose. So I have one set up already. It should be capturing. Yep. So you have big old like maze thing. So this is what happens when it's currently capturing my whole screen. Um, so, and then after you do that, you're going to go ahead and right click, add. You can add your video capture, your microphone, your webcam. You can do a bunch of other things, image for backgrounds. So actually, and then once you do, you can unclick lock preview, and you can resize them to anything you want. So I'm going to put this one back up here, just like that. I like that. And I actually have a background, so I'll click add image. Add existing. I'm gonna for this I'm gonna do create a new one. When you create a new one, you're gonna click OK. You're gonna click image file. We're gonna go to pictures, and I'm gonna do let's do Kingdom Hearts. There we go. Now you see here that it went a bunch of pictures, and you press OK. See, now you see here that it's not filtered right, so we're going to go ahead and double click it, and we're going to right click transform, and we're going to go to fit to screen. See. And you can see it's kind of cut off from the edges. If you have this issue, you're going to right click it. You're going to go to property, or I'm sorry, right click, transform, stretch to screen. And that will stretch it to the appropriate size. Now, if you see here that display capture is no longer see, in order to see, you want to click the display capture, drag it up, and now you see it. Just remember, it's like dominoes effects with the image being on the bottom. With this one being on the bottom, so it's like layering on top of each other. Okay, so we have that. I'm gonna go ahead and add my camera now. So you go to add video capture. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new one. I'm gonna name it test. I'm gonna click my pro right here. Click OK. Now you can't see it because my current webcam is being used. If I can deactivate this one, okay. I go over here. Deactivate. Wait. Yep, there we go. See, you can see me right here. Hi guys. That's how this is gonna turn out. That's how you add your camera. You can go ahead and I'm gonna do everything you need to do right here. So that's how you do that. So we got the game we want to play is gonna be your display. If you're looking to add a specific game instead of just doing your whole display, you just want to go ahead and click game capture. Create a new one, name the game. Make sure you click capture specific window, and then all your current windows will be popped up right here. If it is full screen, you can do capture all full screen, and that will pop right up. Now to add some Twitch alerts, we're going to go ahead and right click, add. We're going to click browser source. Now what this does is allows us to click to insert a link from Streamlabs to do what we want to do. So we're going to hit click browser source. We're going to click I'll do alerts test, and then I'm going to click OK. And right now it's just a default OBS project. So you're going to go back to Streamlabs. You're going to click alert box, and then you're going to see it show click here to show. I'm gonna click launch, or not launch. I click, take this, copy it. So right click, copy, back to OBS, bam, and then click OK. Now there's nothing right here right now, but if you go back to OBS again, put these side by side real quick, like this. So now watch here. If you click, let's see, test follower, bam, right there, follower. Subscriber, donation. It works, and there you go, guys. And if we continue on here, like say you want some music, go ahead and click add text, and we'll do follower count. All this is gonna pop up. You're gonna click this little button right here. You're gonna click read from file. You're gonna click browse, and now we're gonna go back to your desktop. Click stream files, and all these here, let's go ahead and click look for one that has follower count. Let's see. Sessions follow, session follows, most recent follower, top follow, total donation, total. Let's do total follow count. So that's total follows count of 0. I personally like to have an outline of mine. Do 6 black. Okay, look at that. And then I personally like Times New Roman, and I usually go 24. This is all you guys. Just go ahead and do it the way you think it's went. Now you see it's kind of pixely right here. Go ahead and do here. Grab this over here, and you're gonna make this really big, just like that. So see how it's kind of blurry and pixely? We're gonna go and fix that. We're gonna click right click, filters, plus, sharpening. Click OK, and you're just gonna kind of build it until you find it. You know, let's see. That looks good. So there you go, and also make sure it's center. This will always allow it to do it right. If you don't like the way this is looking, you can kind of play around with it. If you really want to, they have a old text style right here. This is text free 2 type. Now the difference between this one and that one is, go ahead and click here. We're gonna go click here. Total follower count. This one I feel has a little bit more, how do I put it? It's a cleaner look, I think, sometimes. But that's just me. See, this one's a little more shadow. This one's a little more less prettier. Again, you're gonna go with filters, add, sharpening. Like that. Another thing you can do is the filters, add, you can do scaling. And you're gonna click that to Lazarus, and the resolution you're just gonna kind of keep the same. This will add just a little bit more, but basically is it. Times New Roman isn't the best, but you can choose whatever audio or whatever stuff you want. So you basically do this over and over, and you go to text. Let's do donations. You go to donations, free file, and then you just find your next one. Again, this is all personal preference. Do it the way you want to do. 30-day top donator. Okay, so that doesn't have anything. I don't have any donators on this one. So you would just basically do it like this. And once you have everything all set up, guys, you should just go ahead and click the start streaming button, and you're good to go. That's about it. Yeah. If you have any more questions, guys, I can answer them anymore. If you're looking for more music, that one's a little more trickier. I personally use SMG, and I'll take a link in the description below on what it is. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and good luck streaming. Bye.